David's rise seemed unstoppable. The shepherd from Bethlehem had defeated Goliath. He had won the admiration of the army. He had gained the friendship of Jonathan, the crown prince, and wherever Saul sent him, he succeeded. But success can be dangerous, especially in a royal court. After another victory over the Philistines, the army returned home. The roads were filled with celebration. Musicians played, women danced, the nation rejoiced. Then came a song, a simple song, a song that would change the course of history. The women sang, "Saul has slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands." The people intended it as praise, but Saul heard something very different: comparison, competition, a threat. The Bible tells us Saul was very angry. The song touched the deepest fear in the king's heart. For years, Saul had been Israel's deliverer, the first king, the great warrior, the man who united the tribes. Now another man was capturing the imagination of the nation. Saul asked, "They have credited David with tens of thousands, but me with only thousands. What more can he have but the kingdom?" For the first time, Saul connected David's popularity with the throne itself. From that day forward, Saul looked at David with different eyes. Every victory became suspicious. Every success became dangerous. Every cheer from the crowd increased his anxiety. Yet David continued to serve the king faithfully. He fought Israel's enemies. He carried out every mission he was given, and time after time, he returned victorious. The more David succeeded, the more the people admired him. And the more the people admired him, the more Saul feared him. The Bible repeatedly gives the reason: the Lord was with David. Saul saw it, and Saul knew it. This was more than jealousy, more than military rivalry. Saul had already been told by the prophet Samuel that God had rejected his dynasty. He knew another had been chosen. He simply did not know who. Now he was beginning to suspect. One day David was playing music before the king, as he had done many times before. The music filled the palace hall. David believed he was soothing the king's troubled spirit. Suddenly Saul seized his spear. Without warning, he hurled it across the room. The spear narrowly missed David and struck the wall behind him. David escaped, but this was not the last attempt. Saul tried again, and once again David survived. The king who had welcomed David into his court, the king who had promoted him, the king who had honored him, had now become his enemy. Yet Saul faced a serious problem. He could not kill David openly. The army respected him, the people loved him, and Jonathan, Saul's own son, stood firmly at his side. So Saul chose a different path, a more subtle path, a political path. He sent David on increasingly dangerous military missions, assignments that seemed impossible, battles that should have ended in death. But every time David returned, and every time he returned victorious. Then Saul tried another strategy. He offered David the hand of his daughter Michal in marriage. At first it appeared to be an honor, a reward for loyal service, but behind the offer was a trap. Saul hoped the Philistines would kill David before the marriage could take place. He demanded an extraordinary bride price, 100 Philistine foreskins, a mission designed to destroy him. But Saul's plan failed. David not only survived, he exceeded the king's expectations, and the marriage took place. The Bible summarizes the situation. Saul became even more afraid of David. Fear had become obsession. Meanwhile, Jonathan tried to make peace. He reminded his father of David's loyalty, his victories, his service to Israel. For a brief moment, Saul seemed persuaded, but the peace did not last. The conflict had become unavoidable. On one side stood Saul, a king struggling to hold on to power. On the other stood David, a national hero whose influence continued to grow. One represented the past, the other represented the future. The tragedy of Saul was not simply that he feared David. It was that he could no longer separate the good of the kingdom from the preservation of his own position. The king who once united Israel became trapped by suspicion, and the young hero who had saved the nation would soon be forced to run for his life. The songs of victory had become songs of warning. The covenant between Jonathan and David would soon be tested, and the royal court was no longer safe. Saul's jealousy had become fear, and fear would soon become persecution. Episode 4. David the Fugitive. The future king must now flee for his life.